Hey guys, this is Chris from Empire Bricks and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars set review. And when I say set, I actually mean sets because we're having a look at 4 of them. The complete series for Microfighters. It's the latest Microfighter series as of today. We're having an in-depth look at all of them. I'll have to start with the first one ranged by set number, and that is set 75160, the Ywing. So as always, let's start with the minifigure, and this is the first set and first minifigure of this Microfighter series, but this one really takes the cake. It is the best minifigure of this series and maybe even one of the best minifigures that I own at this moment, at least one of the best Rebel minifigures. The printing on the front is just exquisite. It perfectly matches the torso with the leg print. The dark blue really suits him. The back print is kind of basic, but it's fine. The helmet is just something else. It has been double molded, so maybe even triple molded if I'm saying that correctly. But there is white and black, which seem to have been applied separately. And then there's the trans yellow visor that is added later, I think. But I haven't seen this helmet in any other sets before. And this is just an amazing piece. I'm really happy to have this one. And taking off the helmet, you can actually see that this pilot has a double-sided face. So he has kind of a smirk or a grin on the front and a angry, almost angry clone face on the back, just like he, almost like he would crash into something. So let's put the helmet back on. An amazing minifigure. Really happy to have this one, and by far the best in this series. And it comes with a small regular blaster. Moving on to the actual build, this set comes with 109 pieces, and with that it is the biggest Microfighters from this series. The looks are almost spot on. I like how they added some details over here, kind of simulating that there is a room for troops, because with the real Ewing there's a door over here that actually opens and lets troops in. There is some translucent bricks over here to simulate the cockpit. So that's great, but one of the best features of this Microfighter is that the wings can actually fold out, just like the real deal. So that makes this a kind of an actual feature to this set. And I have to say, some Microfighters don't have any features. They are just micro versions of their original build, but this one actually has a lot of features. The engines look great, and it comes with 2 stud shooters in the front. So great build over here. The next Microfighter in this series is set 75161. It is the TIE Striker. Starting with the minifigure, this is just a regular TIE pilot, as we have seen him in other sets before. He does look really cool though, and he has torso printing and some basic leg printing, but nothing as cool as the Rebel pilot of the Ewing. Looking underneath the helmet, we see an angry clone face, which is not double-sided, so that's kind of a bummer. So kind of a regular figure, but he does come with a small regular blaster. But it's always nice to have an extra TIE pilot in your army. Moving on to the build, it's the Micro TIE Striker. Comes with 88 pieces, and that indeed is a pretty big difference with the Ewing, but I do have to say that this looks pretty accurate. There's not that much features around. You can move the wings a little bit because of the way they're attached, but because they are meant to be in this position, I am not counting that as a feature. But still, it looks pretty cool. Big advantage for this set is that it comes with 2 cool printed pieces, being the canopy on the front and the console piece over here. So 2 printed pieces for this set, and it has 2 stud shooters on the bottom that you can fire, of course, so that is an actual feature. So that's the TIE Striker, a little bit basic, but some awesome printed pieces over there. Moving on to the next set, being set 75162, the Ywing, which comes with the another Rebel pilot, quite different from the one from the Ewing, at least the helmet, but still the helmet looks pretty awesome. I haven't seen this particular helmet before, but it might be in the original Ywing set. The torso and leg print are again quite exquisite. As you can see, there's this tube, I guess for air or oxygen, going from the torso to the belt area of the legs, and they just match up perfectly. So that's great. And I have to say that Lego really goes all out on these Rebel figures. Also a dark blue torso and legs. I'll just put them next to each other so you can compare them a little bit. It seems to be the same dark blue, but it's really hard to tell because of the contrast, but it's actually totally different print, so that's pretty cool. The back print of this guy is again pretty basic, but that's not a real problem. And underneath the helmet is another double-sided face. So he has kind of a happy face on the front, and again a face like he would be crashing or something like that on the back. Minor detail is that if you put on the helmet, you can actually see the double-sided face underneath the helmet. So don't really like that, but I'd rather have double-sided faces than single-sided faces. And this guy comes with, again, a small regular blaster. Moving on to the actual build, this is the Ywing, and I think of all the sets in this Microfighter series, this is by far the most iconic and recognizable one. It really looks like a Ywing. I think this is also the most cartoonish version of them all, in the sense that this one actually looks like a downsized Ewing, and this one looks like a cartoonish downsized version of the Ywing. But still, I really like the build. There's some nice pieces, good colors in here. Only difference is that this actually has no moving parts at all, so the Ewing could fold out the wings. The TIE Striker could at least move the wings a little bit. And this one has no movable wings of any sort, which kind of makes sense because it's the Ywing. And it also doesn't come with stud shooters. It comes with 2 flick fire missiles, and that makes this the only one in this series. This build was actually 90 pieces, so just 2 pieces more than the TIE Striker, but still a lot less than the Ewing. So moving on to the last of this series, because the last series actually had 6 Microfighters, this one has 4, and the last is set 75163, Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, starting off with the minifigure, which is an Imperial officer, and he has some kind of basic printing on the torso and legs, but I guess Imperial uniforms are just a little bit basic. They are quite neat, so there's not too much going on, but still it's pretty cool. The face is kind of simple, and he has this headpiece going on, very officer-like, and he has this hat with the Imperial insignia on it. So kind of basic overall, but still happy to add an officer to the armies, and he comes with a small regular blaster. So pretty plain figure over here. Going on to the build, it's Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, at least the micro version of it, and this one comes with 78 pieces, so even a lot less than the TIE Striker and Ywing, making this the one with the least pieces, which normally I think would have been a problem. I think in the Series 3 I said that the ATDP was the one with the least pieces and was also the least set of them all, because the pieces are not that useful, but these pieces actually are. There are some slopes, and I mean these are just pieces that you could pretty well use for building mocks or other ships, so that's pretty cool. Not too much functionality, even though the wings can actually fold up, so that's pretty cool. It looks good. I like how they added these 2 kind of fake blasters on the wings, but there's 2 real stud shooters on the front that you can shoot. There is some detail in here, so there's this translucent small piece that simulates sort of a cockpit, and a translucent red piece that simulates a lower area where normally there would have been people inside of the ship. The back engines look pretty good. I'm not really happy with the tail piece. I think this is it's loose. You can move it like this, and it looks a little bit flimsy, as you can see, and a little bit easier. The open stud over here, it's a small detail, but Since this only has 78 pieces, I think it would have been really easy to add just one more cheese slope or other piece to complete this set. So a little bit of a plain build and not one of the best of the series. So those are all the figures and sets from the series for Microfighters. Having said that, let's have an overall look at what I think of these sets, because they are all very, very different. But still, if I have to point out one of the best or the best, I just have to say the Ewing. They just went all out on this one. It's by far the best minifigure of them all. The build is very accurate. It actually has some functionality, and it has the most pieces. So there's just no way that any of these other three can really beat the Ewing. But having said that, which one is the least set? It's kind of difficult because I actually think that the TIE Pilot is the least figure. We have seen him before. He's really plain. He has an angry clone face, no really cool gun. So, not the best figure. But if you look at the sets, the Ywing actually has no functionality. It comes with the older flick-fire missiles, which some people like, but the stud shooters would have worked perfectly fine. I have no idea why they chose for the stud shooters in 3 of them and flick-fire missiles in 1 of them. And then you have the Imperial Shuttle, Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, and that one just has the least pieces of them all. But I have to say, the Y-Wing comes with a pretty awesome minifig, 2 double-sided face, great printing. The TIE Striker comes with 2 printed pieces, which none of the other ones have. So I have to say that if the Ewing is the best set, then Krennic's Imperial Shuttle has to be the least, because it's still a pretty plain minifigure. The set doesn't have that many pieces. There is some functionality, but it's a pretty basic build, so that would be the least. So guys, I really hope you like this review. I'm really starting to like these Microfighters, and I know that there is a new series of Microfighters coming out. I think for the Han Solo movie, there has been some rumors, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I will definitely be reviewing those. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you at the next video.